Hello everyone, Prince here. Welcome to another video. Accidentally, it has just been 2 months after I owned this car, so I have put more than 6,500 kilometers on it in just 2 months. Yeah, if I continue, it will be something like 40,000 kilometers in a whole year. That would say is more than I drove my 2016 Nissan Sentra in 3 years. So you can see, driving EVs are just way more fun, and so I will drive way more compared with a fossil car. So I would say twice more than a normal car burning dinosaur juice. Yeah, so you could start to feel this, and if you see my title, you probably have already know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the cost of owning this car, and I think many people actually don't have the idea of how much EV would cost you, or say better say would save you. Let's start with think about how much a fossil car would cost. So 40,000 kilometers, give or take. I did a rough calculation, use the current fuel price. It would be 18,200 Chinese rabbit coins in order to own this car, to operate it just for fuel. I'm not talking about insurance. I'm not talking about maintenance. I'm just talking about fuel cost. And yeah. And more cars are actually even higher because I'm based on the lowest grade fuel. The basic, or say the regular fuel if you guys are in North America. But actually more and more cars in China are now demanding medium grade or even premium fuel because they have their 1.2 liter turbocharged engine. I really don't know the meaning, but since it's turbocharged, it's medium or premium recommended, right? And you get the idea of how easy to whack people's money. Well, calculating the fuel cost for gasoline cars is pretty easy because you just go to a gas station and fill up. For me, it's kind of like a mix. I have 3 charging places: my home, my workplace, and on a road trip. You can see home charging is my primary charging method because it's easy and convenient. Company charging, it's okay. Before they set out the regulation, before our company's management set out the regulation, I can charge freely in my company, but they just don't allow me to do that. So I say, okay, but I can still charge it a little bit. I will talk about it a little bit later. And then this last one is on road trip. Due to my car's super long range, this is literally unnecessary, but still better good than nothing. So let us start with home charging. So for home charging, I mostly charge at home. So my cost is 0.3578 Chinese yuan per kilowatt hour of electricity. I do most of the charging during valley time. So yeah, nearly all is valley time because I can just turn the I can set up the appointment, so appointment charging, yeah. So I installed the home charger slightly more than a month ago. So before that, I charge outside. I charge at fast charging stores. That would be slightly more expensive. Going forward, you can see the fast charge part will be significantly reduced, while more of my time would be dedicated for home charging. Normally I charge once every 2 to 3 days. I really don't have the necessary to charge every day because of the ultra long range. Until now I charged 387.53 kilowatt hour of energy. Nearly all of that is evenings. That's my bill is around 140 rabbit coins in total. I slightly overshoot it. Yeah. The second place, as I said, is in my company. So I mentioned that I could not charge during work hours. That means from 8:30 to 5:30. I could not. But you know, Chinese companies like work extra hours, so meh. So what it means is I can still charge after hour, whereas the management person has already left. So I have a very good relationship with those so-called gatekeepers or security. So yeah, they support me. They say, hey, yeah, go and charge it. We don't care. I say, okay. Then you get the meaning. The longer the extra hours I have, the more I would charge my vehicle. So at that moment, this part of energy is free, although minuscule, but it is better than nothing. So on average, I could add around 100 to 150 kilometers of range per month. Technically, I would have a little bit more, give or take. I could have a little bit more, give or take, if there's extra hours. Just like last Tuesday, when our senior vice manager just talked like an hour more. After that week, I just charged my car from 390 kilometers all the way to 515 kilometers. Yeah, good for me. However, as I said, I want to go home as soon as possible, so I really don't want to stay in my company. What's the meaning of that, right? And it takes me quite a long time to get home, so I don't want to say get home when I find it's already 10 p.m. So yeah, that part is pretty limited, but I would say it's a complimentary. Good for me. That weighs the advantage of EV. You see here, the advantage of EV is really ABC, always be charging. If I have chance to charge my car, I would charge my car. Probably not to 100%, but more than enough for me. And I can adjust. I say, okay, if it's too expensive to charge, I can charge a little bit. If it's not expensive at all, then I would charge a little bit more. Also, it would adapt to my lifestyle. The car actually is waiting for me, not me waiting for the car. So, yeah. The last part is charge on the road trip. So, outside. That one we are mainly dedicated to DC fast charging. It would be a little bit more expensive. That's okay. A little bit more expensive. But I actually checked the price. Most of the places will have peak and valley price. That means time, like when I went on my last business road trip, the place before 8 a.m. the price is low because it's valley time. Then during half morning it's peak. During lunchtime it's valley again. And then afternoon it's peak all the way to I think 9 p.m. 10 p.m. Then after 10 p.m. it will be low again. Yeah. So this is very good. That means it can promote people to go there during non-peak hours, and to going through non-peak hours can really reduce the load on the grid. You gasoline guys cannot do that. Okay, so let me take a look. So it is slightly expensive, but still cheaper, way cheaper than adding gas. Before installing the home charger, I charged outside twice, so 21.6 and 39.73 rabbit coins. And the last time is a 19.26 Chinese yuan for 21 kilowatt hour of energy at Ningbo, where I go on business trip. I will dedicate a video about all the long distance trips, mainly go out of the city, way out of the city, like a drive distance of I think more than 200 kilometers would call. So yeah. So in total, it cost me around 220 rabbit coins. Yeah. Dedicated to a year, it's about 1,300 a year. The more I charge at my company, the cheaper it will be. And the more I charge at home, the cheaper it will be. So you can see, 1,300 versus 18,000. That's literally 14 times the difference. So it means 14 times the difference by using that car. Let me make a calculation. I think oh boy. That means owning this electric car, the operation cost is only 7%. Just on fuel, the operation cost is 7% compared with a fossil car. And use another term to say is I could save 17K a year if I drive like this. And it means 10 years later, it technically means I earn this car for free just by saving fuel. Not mentioning other stuff. Yeah, 10 years later, I earn this car back. Although there will be the battery degradation, but for engine, I think you would have maintenance, right? And you would have breakdowns. Chinese engines and transmissions are not that great, so I hold my point on that. Yeah. I mentioned about maintenance, right? Let's look at the maintenance. Yeah, because many people will miss the maintenance. So I actually did the first maintenance at 5,000 kilometers. You can see the picture of the high voltage connector. Yeah, all they did is scan the computer and pump my tires. I said, damn, you should add some fluid in it. I don't need you to change, but add the windshield washer fluid in. At least that's the only fluid you should you can do in a EV. But they said no, because they don't have the OEM windshield washer fluid, so they are worried about that. They do not want to put that into the reservoir. I say, okay. They want me to go. And I say, no. If you don't want to add wind washer fluid into my car, I need to go to your car washer place and wash my car in person. Wash it clean. At least you should give me that service, right? Yeah, well, since they don't need to pay manpower, so I do that. Yeah. Well, I wash it clean. Yeah, pretty clean. So because the next day I will have a long distance trip to Shanghai. Yeah, for some ceremony. So yeah. Well, that is another story I want to talk about, but it would be in another video. Yeah. So in total, the operation cost I would say is around 1,500 per year. Consider all maintenance included as well, because EVs I need maintenance every 12,000 kilometers. Yeah, that's a long. As I own, I own 1,000 Chinese yuan, or yeah, per month, just by running a rideshare service. Actually, so a month, 2 months, which means around 2,000 Chinese yuan. So you can see, by providing this, I can literally own the car. The operation cost of this vehicle will literally be free. So yeah, so you get the point. You get about how low it is to own an EV. Many people don't count that in because people are short-minded and they cannot estimate the future. But I have a big head, so yes, I can. If you look at this, you will know. And yeah, now if you don't have an EV, it's time for you to consider it now.